welcomed in this corner. I'm James Smith, back in Titletown, Canistota, New York, at the 27th International Boxing Hall of Fame Induction Weekend. Hall of Fame weekend coverage brought to you by Tecate, Born Bold, the WBC, Hope and Glory, the Green Belt, Las Vegas Dental Group, and by Title Boxing, gear up for greatness. And I was honored to be enlisted by director Ed Brophy to host all the activities of the 2016 International Boxing Hall of Fame right here in Canistota, New York. I believe that punching power, and all the greats have told me, I think when I interviewed you, it's God-given though. You're born with that power. You can develop it, but you either are gonna be a puncher or you're not gonna be a puncher.
I really believe that, you know, you can be born with certain skills, you know, and one of my skills was, I think, delivering a good punch.
Yeah, there's about 49 guys that would agree with you on that.
And it is a joy to be here with these guys because it doesn't always work out this way where we can all get together and do something fun like this.
Yeah, this young man here just reminded me of a story. He said, Smitty, didn't you call the fight with Sumaya Anani? And that was one you came up on the losing end on the scorecards, but man, that was like a, you know, Gotti Ward pitched battle. You remember that fight?
Absolutely, that was a tough fight, and yeah, I lost the decision. I watched it many times. I would, you know, run on the treadmill, put that tape in, and I was like, you know what? I really thought it was a draw. You know, it wasn't a loss. And then I look over at the scorers table. And Don King, the promoter of the event, is sitting beside one of the judges. And I'm like, I've never seen a promoter actually sit by a judge before. So, you know, I was having some issues with King. Sumaya was a tough girl, but I thought, you know, King sitting by the scorecards, you know, who knows what could have been happening or maybe wasn't. But Sumaya was a good fighter. I don't want to take anything from her, but she was a great headbutter, more than anything.
Yeah. The Colonel and I called that fight. Bob Sheridan, who will be inducted on Sunday.
Anyway, I get in the ring. I'm doing my first world title fight. I'm all excited and everything, and and nervous at the same time. And you know, everything went well. You know, and I get out of the ring, and I'm walking out of the ring. This guy comes up to me, "Hey, what's your name?" "Hey, Tony Weeks. You did a good job." And, "Hey, thank you." I was so excited, and I kind of brushed him off. And Bobby Ferrara came up to me, "Hey, you know who that was?" "No, that's Mark Ratner." "What? Where'd he go?" And I say, well, because I always wanted, you know, that was my next dream, you know, to go to Nevada, to go to Las Vegas and referees fights. And Mark, you made that dream come true for me. And thank you. And I'll never forget when you called me up in the office after I got the job, and you was giving me the whole spiel about everything. And I never forget what you told me. You said, "Understand one thing." I said, "What is it?" "You're about to be introduced to the world. And look at this."
Look at this.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to say about Mark Ratner also, our 2016 inductee Mark Ratner is like a big brother to all of us, even though I think I'm a little older than you. But I think Mark Ratner really deserves a big round of applause for all the fine work he's done. And now that he's with UFC, we want to congratulate you, Mark, for being inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's well overdue as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Hey. I want to thank the Nevada Athletic Commission. Obviously, without them, I would not be here. Certain people never get thanked. I want to start with the staff. I'm going to name the girls, Colleen and Sandy and Barbara and Daisy. Without a good staff, you can't have a good commission. And there's several of the Nevada officials here today, but I'm delighted to see some of the referees. So I thank all the officials. I was very blessed to have 3 Hall of Fame referees that we were able to assign to the fights. Mills Lane, Richard Steele, and Joe Cortez, who's here today. So that's very, very important.
Quiero decirle que me siento complacido, me siento contento, porque estoy aquí. Nunca pensé que iba a entrar al Salón de la Fama.
I'm very grateful and happy to be able to be here. I never expected that I would reach this level to be here in the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Pero todo el sacrificio que yo hacía arriba del ring, con mis entrenamientos, una disciplina adecuada, y sobre todo con la técnica de, nosotros le decimos en Panamá, pai pai no toy.
The technique in Panama Pai Pai has prepared me in the ring to be able to reach the heights that I reached.
Le doy la gracia también a todos ustedes que están aquí soportándome en estos momentos porque sé que también queremos ir a comer.
I'd also like to thank everyone here who is supporting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Para mí es un honor, algo pues que tal vez algún día lo soñé. Cuando inició mi carrera, muy jovencito, a los 13 años, empecé a entrenar soñando que tal vez algún día podría ser como Rubén Olivares, como Cassius Clay, que para mí siempre han sido mis más grandes ídolos en el boxeo.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm really happy and honored to be here this day with you. This was a dream to me when I was a child, when I began to box at the 13 years old. To be here with these champions like Rubén Olivares, that was always a stereotype to me to be this type of boxer.
What time is it? What time is it? Yeah, buddy, one of the greats made it. Puerto Rico tenemos otro. Qué linda bandera, qué bonita bandera, qué bonita bandera, la bandera puertorriqueña.
Que viva Puerto Rico.
Well, on my father's behalf, I got to witness what his firsthand was. He poured his heart, blood, everything he had into the sport. He was a little crazy, you gotta admit it, but he was a hell of a person. Big-hearted father, big-hearted man, a great son. I'll let my grandma elaborate more. I want to give a special thanks to everybody involved in my father's career, Rob Lee, Mike Akery, of course, Main Events. Suleiman, dame Chávez. Yo quiero venganza, dame Chávez, por favor. I want the Chavez fight. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the love and support. Thanks to Ed Brofield, the Hall of Fame staff. A great accomplishment, and God bless all of y'all.
He deserved what he going to get. Thank you, my people. You is my people. Thank you to love my song. A great, great song.
I'm very honored by this. I don't know that writers belong in the Hall of Fame, but I'm honored by it. We don't bleed, we don't sweat, and the only fight we have is with the clock. You got to be done in 20 minutes, you better go look for another job. So life has been very good to me. I've been very lucky. I've covered athletic events in Europe, and in Asia, and in Africa, and of course in the Western Hemisphere. But I've never been anywhere like Canistota, New York. Never. I am amazed at the way this town has accepted all of us. This is my 15th Hall of Fame. I have never, never, ever experienced the kind of welcome and the kind of love that I feel here. And
my legacy is not the 1,000 world title fights that I've done, 50 years in the business, calling all the great fights and being in the front row for the greatest fights in the past 50 years. But you know what my legacy in my mind is I tried to protect the sport. In Zaire in '74, when I heard that fight was being broadcast to 1 billion people live, and I was the lead broadcaster, and I fell into the international commentary, I said, you know something, I got a responsibility to this sport. I love this sport. And at that time, the sport was being knocked a lot. So I went out of my way to protect the sanctioning bodies, the promoters. One of the great rivalries, I worked for Don King for 37 years, and then thanks to Hall of Famer Bruce Trampler and Marty Corwin from Top Rank Boxing, I've been calling for the past 10 or 12 years fights for Bob Arum again. So being with those two guys, and these fighters will tell you, their rivalry was terrific for boxing because they get more money, and that's what it's all about. I protect the referees, the sanctioning bodies. I see Paco Bacasel, one of the most righteous men in the world, and of course, young Mauricio Suleiman. Your dad was a legend, much maligned many times, but I protected him because I've been to your conventions and I know all the great things the WBC has done over the years. I go to all of the conventions and try to learn about refereeing and judging. So when I'm on the air and they're complaining that this fight isn't just and fair, I point out, yeah, but but there were 5 close rounds, and even professional judges can be separated. So when a fight is over and everyone's saying, oh, there might be a fix. No fix. 5 rounds. The fighter has a responsibility to win those rounds. Don't blame my judges. Don't blame my judges. And I'm going to hundreds of million people around the world for 50 years, and that, to me, is the legacy. Protecting, I didn't mention one thing, the most important, the fighters. You know, they come up about a year or so ago, we started hearing about this protocol of head injuries in the National Football League. It's a concussion sport, no kidding. How about our guys? How tough are boxers? They go into this thing knowing that they could be maimed. And I've called 5 fights in 50 years in which one of the opponents died after the fight. So I have great respect, and not just for these great champions that are here. I respect that kid that's 15 years old that turns pro down in Mexico and takes a 30-hour bus ride to Tijuana to fight for $50. He gets back on the bus and goes back down and hopes he can take that 60-hour trip again to make $50 next week. Now, I protect my fighters. I love my fighters.
These people, some of them don't know me, most of them do. These people are my brothers. I had no brother. I had a sister and no brother, but I've got a lot of brothers up here. I will never forget you, and I pray that you'll never forget me. Thank you.
So that about wraps things up for yet another great year here in Canistota at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. I was honored to be the host. All the remembrances of the greatest Muhammad Ali, a brand new, great class here in 2016. Some great fighters and journalists and administrators, and just a fantastic class to be enshrined with all the immortals here at the International Boxing Hall of Fame in Canistota, New York. I'm James Smith. We'll see you back here next year.